Hi guys, it's Karen here from the Motoroamers. Just hopping on today to tell you a little bit about a new initiative that we've just set up in response to the unprecedented events that are hitting pretty much the whole world, although very particularly at the moment Europe and the UK, in response to the COVID-19 virus. We narrowly missed a Morocco, Spain and France lockdown after we decided to head on back to the UK slightly earlier than planned for our MOT because my mum became in contact with somebody who had the virus. Pretty much up until then, I'll be honest with you, we'd seen all of this from afar, and like many others, perhaps we buried our head in the sand and didn't think it would affect us. And then when we came back from Morocco, I became ill miles soon after. And whilst we are pretty sure it wasn't COVID because we didn't have the same symptoms, there's nothing like being ill yourself and seeing your family vulnerable to make this personal. So we are now back in the UK. We are in self-imposed quarantine and we're managing it all okay. It's important that we do isolate ourselves so we don't risk any infection for my mum and obviously the wider public in general. So in response to all of that, what have we done? Well, our hearts broke pretty much leaving our friends who are stranded, increasingly stressed and feeling very isolated. And I wrote out to our guys on our mailing list, and somebody wrote back and said, it wasn't until I read your email that I realised whilst we are isolated, we are not alone. And that really inspired me, together with a conversation with my mum about doing things more online, to try and reach out and provide some support for our friends who are in Europe in lockdown, and actually the over 70s who are going to be going through a self-isolation from weekend of the 21st of March. So we really felt quite passionate about trying to do something, particularly with my background being in personal development, happiness and well-being. And it just feels to me that being cooped up in either a van or in a home, not being able to go out, really does have a serious impact on our well-being. And my mission is to try and do something about that. There's two things I've done. First of all is we've set up a brand new Facebook group, which is called the Motoroamers Chat Room. And it's a space that we've created, which is very supportive, positive, uplifting, sharing stories with like-minded people who are stranded or isolated. Feel free to come and join it and just feel the love that's over there. We are getting some fantastic tips and ideas from people, resources to share, and we've just been a bit blown away by the response to it. For me, it's not about the numbers that are over on the group. It's about the quality of the interactions that we're having, and it just lifts your spirits. On the back of that, the second thing we're doing is we are developing an online resource, because the internet is going to be such an important tool for us when we're in isolation, either imposed or otherwise. We feel that being able to really help people look after themselves physically and mentally is going to be really important over the coming months. We're still very unclear how long this virus is going to be around for. They say we haven't reached our peak here in the UK. So it's very uncertain, and during uncertainty, fears just manifest themselves. And so we want to be able to provide some online resources and some chat room talks where I'm bringing together some passionate people who know a lot about yoga, photography, just to name a few things. And we're going to bring all these guys together and either do some recordings or do some live chat room talks where we invite people just to tune in and for a very short amount of time, probably only 30 minutes or so, just feel that there is some hope, there is some positivity, and more importantly, some camaraderie amongst all of us. This virus is touching all of us, and we need to make sure that we, of course, stay well physically, although mentally, I think it's just as important that we take care of ourselves. And this is something I feel really passionate about, and we'll be announcing more news about it, both on our motor roaming page over on Facebook, and obviously also on the new Motoroamers chat room that we've just set up. So there we have it. We feel really strongly about giving people a chance to stay connected, and more importantly, not feel alone during this time. And we hope that that strikes a chord with some of you out there, whether it's to share ideas and just give a little bit of solidarity to your fellow motorhomers, nomads and travellers, or whether indeed you are one of them who are stuck and stranded and want to reach out. Whichever it is for you, we look forward to seeing you over there, and watch this space as we start developing more tools. So that's it. Karen from the Motoroamers, signing out.